When you go to Tokyo, there's, whole places where you can go and just completely eat alone. Like you go to a ramen spot and you sit there and you order in front of you and it's about eating alone and being alone. And I think being comfortable with being alone. I think one thing about Western culture, which doesn't really talk about it very often, is the fact that, we always have to be together. We always have to eat, with a partner or something like that. But it's super important to be able to cherish something on your own. Easy. Easy. Good boy. I basically told him to easy up on the lead and to heel on my left-hand side. But it's a casual heel because he's on lead, so he's not off leash right now. So he can do what he wants. I've only had Salem since February, so it's been a newer relationship together. He has almost the same birthday as me. He's 3 days after me. So we're Aquarius family. Come here. Opposing boy. Isn't that right? With his little Pendleton bandana. He dressed up today. I love you. I lost my father in March, and it's not something that I talk about very often. And I keep a lot of my private life very private, but I think it's important to talk about the things that we all went through during this pandemic and the difference in not being able to express those emotions through our creative outlets, and not being able to go out into the world and do what we do when we're grieving and move forward. And instead, we had to sit in it and to figure that out. And it was a beautiful and difficult time. I think our family was able to be there for each other in ways that we might have not been there before even. And there was a lot of healing. And there was more of an acceptance and a beauty in life and a joy of the life that was led in therapy. And lots. I love my therapist a lot. What I fear the most is becoming stagnant, and allowing your brain to become stagnant and stuck in its way. And I think it's really smart to get yourself into positions where you might feel uncomfortable and shut up, just to shut up and listen to other people.
As wide as you can, wide. And make a fist. Let it go. So the biggest thing is about protecting your knuckles, your wrists, and then making sure it's solid. Exactly. Let it go.
That way I don't go breaking my own bones. Just breaking your bones.
Just breaking whatever you need to. Make a fist. World's greatest stretch. You'll come down to the push-up position. Put your leg outside. Drop down. Chuck. Push-up position. Switch.
I really started training my body at a young age, especially when I did kick-ass. It kind of opened me up to the world of, movement. And one thing that I found really empowering was, fight training and boxing and kickboxing. And it allowed me to find not just, strength and rhythm, but also allowed me to find kind of a gravity within myself. No matter how crazy my world gets or my day gets or, my hour gets, it's an amount of time that I can kind of take to myself and feel what it feels like to connect with my body and my soul and get in my center. I think at a young age, I kind of realized exactly what I wanted to stand for and who I wanted to stand for. And not just speak for myself, but to, use my platform as a microphone and a spotlight for those that might not have the ability or the opportunity to have that. When I turned 18, I realized a lot about myself that I hadn't worked through. And I jumped into therapy twice a week, and I stopped acting for a year, and I got back into working out. I stopped training for 2 years before that. And I think I really lost my balance, my footing. When I came out the other side of that at, about 20 years old, I felt that I not only was able to speak my truth, but I was able to stand up for what I really believe in on a daily basis. Over the last year, I've gone through a lot. Being in Mother Android was something that I needed that outlet. I craved to be back on set. I craved to be back into a character's shoes. Our director and writer, Mattson Tomlin, wrote this about his family, and his parents who went through the Romanian Revolution in the 80s, and he was given up for adoption. This baby belly that I wore was 21 pounds. I had never experienced that before, and then, doing these scenes, and I would just look over at Matt and, and see him there, and he's a standing representation of this whole thing. And it was one of the most incredible experiences in my career. Like, it changed me as a person in a lot of ways. So we are about to go into Brothers Sushi with my friend Mark, who is the head chef and owner of this place. And eat the best sushi in Los Angeles, in my opinion, which is a pretty high bar. So let's do it. Hello.
Hi. いらっしゃいませ.
This is Mark. Hello, hello.
Oh, hi.
Should I come around?
Sure, please.
I think one of the first places I went when I was 12 or maybe 13 years old for Kick-Ass Press was to Japan, to Tokyo. And I had such a fun time eating so much sushi and being a part of that and learning more about it and the traditions behind it. When I came back to LA, I always loved to find little sushi holes and places that are kind of special and singular. And I met Mark at Asanebo. And then we would just have conversations and talk about food and life, and we became friends.
Always order omakase.
Yes, over omakase.
You just let me trust me and make some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So I like to use cedar plank.
And this is kinmedai, right?
Kinmedai, yes. Yeah, you could grate some yuzu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
And then
Just
brush?
Yep, brush. There you go. Nice touch.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Should I eat it? Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God. Whoa, it's so good.
The Santa Barbara abalone, Santa Barbara sea urchin, your favorite.
I enjoy within roles being able to scare myself a little bit, trying to figure out, did I bite off more than I can chew? Can I actually achieve this role? Am I the best person for this role? And then proving it to yourself, against all odds. And working your way through those emotions on your own and working through your own psyche, and your own mind telling you maybe that you can't do it. I'm trying not to make decisions, months in advance even. Just try and take it day by day, and that way what projects may come and meet them where I am that day,
So this is a nodogoro, Japanese
Yes.
sea perch. It's my favorite whitefish with a Japanese citrus paste on top.
That is so good. Cheers.
Cheers.